Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. The end time is nigh. Woe is me. Catastrophe. It is the apocalypse. Kotaku is shutting down. Now, don't get your hopes up too much. It's not actually the main Kotaku website. It is one of their affiliates. Kotaku Australia is being shut down. Now, I'm not necessarily one to celebrate those individuals losing their jobs that are exceptionally qualified to do their jobs, but when you have associated yourself with such a paragon of journalistic integrity that goes out of their way to attack gamers as a whole, label them with all these nasty histophobe labels over and over and over again, then please forgive me, but I do not feel any pity nor remorse for you and yours that are involved in this. This lovely article from that Park Place, Kotaku Australia, will be shut down as part of a major cost-cutting effort for its parent company, Pedestrian Group. So it looks like this is just, I guess, more along the lines of casualties of war, I guess. Poor choice of words, but let's keep going. As reported by the Sydney Morning Herald, Pedestrian Group is slashing at least 40 jobs. How many people actually work at Kotaku Australia if they're only slashing 40 jobs? I have that in just anyway, 40 jobs and ending its, quote, licensing deals to publish third-party brands, including Vice, Refinery29, Gizmodo, Lifehacker, and Kotaku in coming months. So, not necessarily the jobs themselves, but ending its licensing deals. And I guess Kotaku in Australia was part of a licensing deal. Why would you need, this is a legitimate question, why would you need an Australian branch or in general, a foreign branch of any gaming website when your website is international, is worldwide? Why is that necessary? Sorry, had to cough. Don't want anybody, I could have edited that out, but we're going to keep going. I go off on tangents. Everybody knows this. You get used to it. Anyway, we're going to move on. The outlet adds these titles. No, but that is a legitimate question. Why do you need different branches of your corporation, of your website, when all you're doing, or you're supposed to be doing, is video game journalism? Why is it necessary to have, apparently, the main U.S. branch of Kotaku, an Australian branch? I'm sure they have a European branch, and whatnot. Why is that necessary? I am genuinely curious. Help me out in the comments section, not the chat, the comment section down below. Let me know. Educate me, please. I always look for information. Outlet adds these titles will no longer be published in Australia. So people in Australia will just go to the normal cesspool of gaming journalist integrity at Kotaku.com. With the majority of their staff being let go. Oh no, nothing of value was lost. BNT also reports that Pedestrian Group CEO Matt Rowley revealed the licensing deals were scrapped because it faced, quote, financial headwinds. Now, what on earth could be the factor in that? Perhaps many of your websites, perhaps insulting potential customers, potential readers over and over and over again, that people lost interest in going to those websites. But let's see what he has to say. Given these factors, we've made the tough decision to focus on our wholly owned pedestrian brands, where we control the strategy, the content, the product, the sales, and the outcome, the entire business. This means that we will transition out of our current brand licenses, which will reposition our business for the future. This will have an impact on roles within the group, and I appreciate the uncertainty this change creates. So we will, so the word appreciate means multiple things, and I do understand that. So it's not necessarily, I like it, I appreciate it. I understand it in the sense that was like, oh, the words people use having different meanings. You have to be careful in taking out of context and not understanding the actual meaning that he's using right now. But again, that's another tangent, completely unrelated. Let's keep going. I'll start over. This will have an impact on roles within the group, and I appreciate the uncertainty this change creates. So we will be in contact immediately with those people. Where possible, we will look for opportunities for redeployment. You're fired. I'm sorry. Here's your severance pay if you're lucky. Redeployment? No. When you downsize, you downsize. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Maybe do a better job at your job so that the finances don't bottom out. And we'll continue to work with everyone over the coming days to support this difficult transition. We like that word, don't we? Let's see. Kotaku Australia managing editor David Smith confirmed the site was being shut down. He wrote on X, "Folks, I have some sad news to share." Sad for the people that work there, yes, but not surprising to the people that see what's going on in the gaming industry. Again, I said this earlier in the video. Perhaps if the main brand, the name brand of the website that you write for wouldn't go out of their way over and over and over again to insult gamers, to attack gamers, to go out of their way to try and get people's livelihood shut down over and over again, Alyssa Mercante, looking at you, then maybe you wouldn't have such a piss poor reputation and people would start going to your website a little more often to get their information. But hey, what do I know? Today, the story of Kotaku Australia comes to a sad and abrupt end, and nothing of value was lost. It has been one of the great joys of my life to wake up every day and run a site I love with all my heart. Oh no, he goes on, to all my comrades. Maybe not use that word. It has particular meaning in history books. David, my comrades at Pedestrian Group. Although, considering the website itself and the people that work there across the world, the people who post on social media that represent Kotaku, maybe the use of that word is a little bit appropriate. I don't know. What do you guys think? I love you. I have never worked with better or more talented souls in my life. Well, that's not saying much. You need to probably get out into the workforce and surround yourself with a few better people out there, good old David Smith. To the readers, all three of them, thank you for showing up every single day, even the whingers in the comments. You can't even go out without insulting. This is why. Okay, let's calm a little bit down here. This is why your website fails. This is why Kotaku is on the downslide. This is why they're going to fail as well. Eventually, heaven forbid, no, God willing, goes down a blaze of glory. You cannot even go out without insulting people. Even the whingers in the comments. My God. I have loved the job. We were second highest read site in the group after PTV, and we still had so much we wanted to do. The plans I had were just getting started. Alas, I will be taking a break a bit for now, but know that it has been a pleasure and an honor to serve you. Well, maybe if you didn't insult people on your way out. Anyway, well, a few other individuals on the social medias had something to say about it, and of course, wouldn't you know it, everyone's favorite senior editor at Kotaku, Alyssa Mercante, had a little few things to say about Kotaku Australia getting shut down. I bet she has some intellectual writing, some smartsies to say. What do we got? I hate this picture. Isn't that just such a lovely, smug little picture of the wonderful Alyssa Mercante? Don't you like it? Let's see. The titles would no longer be published. Where do we wear? Let's see. Given these factors, we made a tough decision. Read that already. David Smith, even the whingers in the comments, got to go out with a bang. Sending solidarity and love to the amazing writers at Kotaku AU and all the other sites affected. You're all stars and are deserved better. Capitalism is cruel. Capitalism is the only reason that you have a job, Alyssa. Capitalism is the reason that you have a job, that Kotaku Australia had a site to begin with. But of course, you're going to be paint chip eating, room temperature IQ individual and state that capitalism is cruel. Capitalism works for those who put the effort forth into it. Sorry. It is what it is. The internet and the rats infesting it are even crueler, but a reminder. Cheering for good people losing their jobs while men get rich off their labor is morally bankrupt. Oh boy, your head is so far up your ass that you can smell your own teeth. White men get rich off their labor. Actually, considering the Kotaku Australia website is getting shut down due to finances, no one was getting rich off the labor of the people writing for Kotaku AU, much like no one's getting rich off of the writing prowess of the lovely, wonderful, oh so gentle Alyssa Mercante. Internet and the rats infesting it. Who on earth could she be talking about? My goodness. And by the way, I hate that I even have to say this, but let's stop the reactionary ride before it gains speed. We are not affiliated with Kotaku AU. We don't share anything except a love for games and good reporting. Well, where is that good reporting, Alyssa? Because all you seem to do is insult people on your social medias. The thread full of lies, something Mercante is known for. Cheering for an outlet that spreads woke ideology to be shut down is not immoral. We're going to skip a little bit ahead because John F. Trent, he likes to go into his religious debates, but that's not what I like to talk about. We're going to keep on going. Website not detected. Oh, yeah. That was the lovely little Alyssa celebrating Smash JT getting shut down. Any other stuff? Oh, yes. When is this from? Oh, this is from July 8th. Alyssa goes more and more, spurgs out more and more online. Following this thread of lies, Mercante then lashed out. In her little tweet on here, you have no idea what journalism is. Well, that may be true, but I know what it isn't. Because when I see it, when I read it, and I smell it, and it doesn't look like journalism, well, I'm going to point and laugh at it. And the nonsense that you write out there, Alyssa, is definitely not journalism. Your website looks like they're from 2001, riddled with typos. Much like some of the mainstream articles that I go on and read. The typos are ridiculous. The grammar errors, the editing errors. So you're really not you're not putting up a good case for yourself. You use yourselves as a source for stories, much like half the mainstream that's already out there. You have an internet connection and a webcam. While that may be true, I don't use it. I don't have a webcam. So there. And think you have something worthy to say. Well, whether we think it's worthy or not, we're going to say it. That's the interesting thing about the internets and the YouTubes and the Twitters and the Twitches and everything. We can just run our mouths, and 9 times out of 10, we're doing a better job than the mainstream websites because we're actually honest. We're upfront and open about our biases. We don't sit there and insult our potential subscribers, our viewers, our readers, essentially our potential customers. We try to bring them in, discuss our opinions upfront and open, and stick to it. Try to be genuine, unlike some of the mainstream websites out there. We could set my Nana up with a Razer Keo in her care home and she'd make more coherent shit. Oh, you mean like the coherent nonsense that you went on trying to challenge physically other content creators to a fight for real? And then, of course, crawfished out of it like a little coward. But whatever. What do I know? She added in a subsequent post, it's a shame that private equity and Google have gutted legacy media sites and the stupidest, cruelest people in the world are rushing to fill in the gaps. Now, the interesting thing about that, I'm going to comment on this little part and then I'm going to be done with this nonsense because, well, it is what it is. So, the cruelest people in the world are rushing to fill in the gaps. I think Alyssa was looking in the mirror when she said that because we have receipt after receipt after receipt of the likes of Alyssa Mercante being cruel and obnoxious and trying to justify their action, trying to justify getting in touch with someone's wife on social media, on Facebook, and asking them, do you know what kind of husband you have? So when you're speaking about cruel people, you really do need to look in the mirror and point at yourself. But as far as filling in the gaps, so the only reason that content creators on YouTube are gaining any sort of traction isn't necessarily because there are gaps to be filled. It is more along the lines, well, I guess there are gaps to be filled, but the reason why there are gaps to be filled is because the lack of integrity, the lack of genuine, honest content coming out of the mainstream. More and more often than not, actually, you have, for lack of a better word, chuckle fucks like myself sitting there and being honest, talking about what we like, what we don't like, why we like it, and why we don't like it. And people coming to channels like mine, channels like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and Mauler and EFAP and all of the above, Angry Joe, you name it, they're out there, showing up on our lovely little doorsteps on YouTube and going, I can understand that. I agree. I disagree. Subscribing to our channels and showing up on live streams and showing up on videos and voicing their opinions and finding that they can relate to individuals that aren't going to sit there and insult them, insult their intellect, and call them all manner of names simply because they like or dislike a product. Unlike countless mainstream journalistic websites, whether it's video games or TV shows or movies, out there reviewing the products and calling individuals like myself all manner of names. So what do you think the reason there are gaps to fill? That's my question. Let me know what you think in the comments. Why are there so many gaps to fill in this wonderful, wonderful content creation world that we live in? How easy it is to, like she said, anyone can pop up a webcam, hit record, and voice their opinions. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, we're all out here. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all the nifty little things as YouTubers beg you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.